Hello there, everyone. The one called Fate knocks at your door. It's Hunt back with another episode of Tabletop Recap. We also have Big Boy Chungus.
Hello!
Karen, the Manager Slayer.
Hello.
And Kami.
Hi, guys.
And this is the third Dungeons & Dragons recap episode. Correct?
No.
Well, hi. But yeah, we're all gathered here. If you haven't listened to the last two Dungeons & Dragons episodes, which I think were 5 and 6, that sounds right.
No, 3 and 4.
That's not true. I think it's 5 and 6. You're just screwing with me. But you'll definitely want to listen to those before this one. But I think we should all go around and refresh who our characters are. I'll go first. I'm Gaddick McMoneyhaver, the noble rogue, and handsome little boyo. We all went up to level 6, by the way, just a little FYI. You know that if you follow us on Facebook at B3 Podcasts. And Karen, tell us about your character.
I'm Oliver Gideon. I'm a folk hero, fighter, also level 6, that I just didn't change it on my character sheet. And I'm aligned good. I don't know where, but I'm a good character.
It just says good.
I am Fate, the Tiefling Storm Sorcerer, and I've gotten a little bit more powerful since you've last heard about me. I'm about at level 5,000 now.
Wrong, but fine. Continue.
I'm still Kami and I'm still God.
Yeah, still DM. All right, so we are going to do our regular thing where we all roll a d20 to see who gets initiative to speak first. 10.
6.
14.
16.
I wanted you to go first anyways, just like last time.
Perfect.
I love how this is one of the first good rolls all
day.
all day.
You rolled several crit fails today.
But you did crit succeed, and we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess I'll pick up where we last off, which was the substructure underneath the cathedral.
Yeah, just tell us where we are, man.
They just made it past a giant room with a huge pentagram in the floor. They went into a study that was the back wall of that room. They murder hoboed somebody in about 3 seconds. That was a way easier fight than it should have been. Outside of the story, I did tone that character down based on y'all's struggles with the Centurion. And I really wish I had left him the way he originally was, because then it would have actually been like a legitimate fight, rather than giving him 100 health like the Centurion. So, yeah, they killed it in like a turn, and got to loot his body for some great stuff.
We thought he was a stand user. Turns out he was just a normal guy.
Yeah.
So, they murder hoboed somebody in his study, and they looted him, and that's kind of where we left off.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, that's it for today's podcast, everybody.
Night?
No. We still got a good 30 minutes at least.
Actually,
this was a long one, so it might be a little longer.
It might be.
It was a very long day. It didn't feel like it.
It was very productive.
What time did we start?
Y'all got here at like
30?
y'all got 3:30.
Because we ate lasagna.
Oh, that was some good lasagna. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah.
It was really good. I killed the cow myself, which is sort of true, but so
it was a 5-hour session, probably though.
Yeah, it was really long. So the first thing we did was just kind of search around his little office area. Looked at all his papers. We couldn't really read any of them. Just had a letter that showed he was pretending to be somewhere else. And he was from like a neighboring city-state that's in
Province.
that's in some kind of conflict with this one a little bit, but that didn't seem as relevant as I thought it would be. But
no comment.
I did find 150 gold in his desk, which I did keep all to myself, of course. My last name is McMoneyhaver, after all, and I needed to stay true to it.
Cha-ching.
I didn't feel the need to split it up, because that's pocket change to my character, you know.
And well, in the current situation that we're in, it's not like any shops are going to want to sell you stuff.
Yeah, but
to be fair, people would sell them those two anything. It's just you they don't like. Mr. Tiefling.
That's what you get for playing as a minority.
This is why they built that wall around the city, man.
But there was also a chest under there that was full of our stuff that got stolen off of us earlier, because at the beginning of the campaign we lost a lot of our gear, and it was all in that chest. which was very nice. So we got all our stuff back, which did come in handy because we used a rope a lot, and we got our rope back. We used a lot of rope.
Let's see. So after you plundered the whole place, Fate was over there in the corner doing his Arcana thing.
Yeah, there was a kind of a workshop area in the back area where the sorcerer, mage, half elf was working, and I was checking out some of the stuff there, making sure that was going to blow up or make us purge our guts.
What?
And then what were you doing, Oliver? Yeah.
I think I was just...
You were poking a corpse at that point, I believe, because you didn't have anything to do.
Yeah, everything else was being handled. I'm like, well, I'm kind of useless, so I just kind of poked the dead body, and I'm like, I'll wait until they need me.
You did kick a door open, as is your fashion, but it was already unlocked, and it didn't matter, so it just kind of flew open. Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a good Oliver session, I feel like. It was a very bad Oliver session.
That room was like the room behind the office was like a magical study with another big shape on the floor that was like a
circle.
Hologram projection circle.
Yeah,
It's for
basically.
long distance communication. So whoever this guy was working for, he was talking to a lot.
Yeah. And is your world going to have campaigns that connect to each other or not?
Oh gosh. Well, once we finish this campaign, like I've got a big world built out, so you guys can play these characters until the day you die and not run out of content.
If we survive this one, because we're all like half health now, but...
Y'all went pretty elite this particular session. Like, y'all found some really creative solutions.
I thought I would be on a really bad game because I was exhausted when I got here, and I still am. But I think I was actually top of my game, to be completely honest.
You just need a little pick-me-up.
It was just a role play session, and I'm good at the role play. But in this room, there was like, I'll let you tell what was in the room since you literally wrote it.
It was a magical workshop. So the walls were covered in grimoires and magical indexes, things like that. The floor had that inscribed circle for long distance communication, and in the corner was a work table that had a book opened. And one of the clues that I handed out was that the workbook was open to a long distance, high level teleportation spell to move things from one place to another. At very long distance, and all the supplies to make that happen in quick succession.
And we kind of guessed that's how we got in the Archbishop's office, which is what we guessed. Obviously, you can't tell us one way or another, but that's what we figured. And the argument we tried to make later. Speaking of that...
Y'all did neglect to use that room as evidence discussing things with Kraft.
That's not true.
Y'all didn't mention that room at all when you were talking to Kraft.
That is absolutely not true.
Yeah, I distinctly remember... Moneyhaver's character saying that we looked in a room that belonged to...
We told him all about that room. We didn't take him in there, but we told him all about it.
I think that's what he means. I think, showing him the evidence.
Oh, but he wasn't a magic
I thought you
guy.
did give him the documents that we found in there.
Those documents
weren't from in there. There weren't any documents in there.
Nobody mentioned teleportation spells.
True.
Nobody mentioned anything about a teleportation spell, which was the relevant info in that room.
I could have sworn I did.
I was listening out for anything about a teleportation spell.
Are you dissing his GM skills?
No, I'm not. No. I just feel like I did, but I might just be wrong.
Legitimately, I could have missed something, but I thought I was trying to distinctly listen out for anything about a teleportation
Once again,
spell.
I'm exhausted today, so I probably just didn't.
He's just blaming his exhaustion for his poor play.
Yeah, because if I was, I'd be perfect otherwise.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I am a god. But
it's actually painful to look at him. He's so perfect.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm so muscular and I'm not overweight at all.
Moving on.
But
so while we're in the room...
Yeah, I heard some people creeping on up.
So,
This is where the chaos started settling in. So
I tell them to hide. I'm like, go hide in the corner of the teleportation room while I throw some books in front of a door.
Was that your first crit fail of the evening?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first roll and the first crit fail.
Well, I think the first thing to point out was that Moneyhaver wanted to hide in one of the side rooms, where if you remember from the last campaign.
No, because we would have had to walk past him to get to those.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you did still want to go hide in one of the side rooms because
I don't remember.
They were in the room.
Somebody recommended. I don't remember who did.
Yeah. It might have been. If they're saying it's me, it might have been me.
My character was
Where
actually...
were they? I'm sorry, I'm out of it right now. I was trying not to talk as much as I am right now, but no one else is really talking.
I'll be quiet.
Gotta fill the space.
They were in the room prior to the room with the pentagram in it. They were way out there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They were further out.
Yeah, you rolled
Yeah,
really
we
good.
can
I
hear
just
them.
heard them because of the echo.
Yes. So they were way out there. And you wanted to hide in one of the side rooms to get away from the crime scene. But I said, let's just stay in the room right beyond the crime scene. So I moved.
Which was the much better play, turns out. Yeah.
So you guys ended up hiding. I crit failed stacking books in front of a door, but
Quietly, it was the stealth side of that.
I remember one of the magic books fell open and it literally screamed.
Like Harry Potter and the Secret Library style screaming thing. But you crit failed your stealth check, but they also crit failed their perception while they were coming into the area. So once again, my dice saved your butts.
Yeah, you rolled awful for NPCs like all day, except for that one nat 20 where it really mattered for us.
I did not roll above, for the first half of the session, I didn't roll above a 7. It was really demoralizing until the one strength check.
yeah, until one strength. So.
But
All right, so she's just you play as a little dude, as a little twink, and you're just chucking books at the door, and then they come in and they're like, "What? What was that sound? We're dumb." And they're like, check the magic seal on the door, see if it still works. And they try to move the door, but there's literally 500 pounds of books, which I also thought was a stupid idea, but turned out to sort of be right and sort of be wrong. Because it should have been a stupid idea, but somehow wasn't.
The program failed successfully.
the dice man.
Yeah.
You used the wrong equation, but got the right answer.
So they were like, it won't open, it must still be magically sealed. And I was like, everybody wait for the big man. Because they sent 2 to go get...
One of them. They sent one of them.
One of the fancy bishop boys.
Kraft cheese.
Yeah. Kraft Punk.
Craft.
Yo, what is up? I'm Kraft Punk.
You just got Kraft dunked.
Oh my goodness.
So the guy's name is actually Kraft Richter. I'm trying to use very dramatic names.
And he's like the head of the... You explain who he is.
He's a bishop who is kind of heading up the Setting Sun's subgroup within the church. He's kind of the zealot's leader.
Yeah.
So when they find their buddy dead, they're like, oh, crud, we should totally let the leader know that there's dudes messing with our stuff. Go get him.
Yeah, so they bring him back, and I'm like, all right, let's get him. Because my plan was, after I heard them mention his name, was to get him and try to prove our innocence.
So they brought him and one other guy down, so...
Yeah, so it was
We heard them.
the one sorcerer guy and then the 2 clerics.
They were dressed as clerics, but they never entered combat for y'all to find out anything more.
And then Bishop Boy, Kraft Cheese.
So we moved...
You should never have named him Kraft.
That was a mistake. I should have really considered my players before I chose that name.
He has a wife, you know. Her name is Velvita.
Oh my goodness.
Please die.
We
Absolutely, please
moved
die.
all of the books.
Don't worry.
We ran out, and I think this is where Gaddock really showed his skill tonight.
Oh, yeah. I charge out with my psychic
Oh, wait,
dagger.
no, wait, we forgot. We still had 500 pounds of books that we had to get
Yeah, I
rid
just
of.
said we moved
Yeah.
them.
With some assistance
With
from
some-
fate.
With some assistance from fate.
He couldn't hear you specifically because you're a woman.
Oh,
He's
okay.
sexist. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry you had to find out this
okay.
way.
My bad.
Continuing, so you run out with your... Go ahead.
Yeah, my psychic dagger and my grapple gauntlet, and I grappled the bishop Batman style, and it like wraps around him, so I have the bishop captured, and I like slam him against the desk, and I'm like, nobody move, see? And then what happened? What happened after
Then
that?
I went and I saw that there was a wizard in the room, and I'm like, ooh, that looks like a dangerous person.
Little
So
danger boy.
I grappled him, which I don't know how I succeeded that one. I think I barely did.
He's a wizard with like negative mods in strength and dex.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's fate.
Something like that. Just not as talented.
So
Oh.
we grabbed him, and then Fate.
Well, I was currently holding buffs on you guys because since I leveled up, I got an extra spell slot for a spell, and I decided to go for a little bit more of a supporting attribute since I didn't. All I had was offensive stuff.
Yeah, all I got was a stat and HP boost. I got jacked.
So I added.
I got a good one though. I rolled an 8 out of 8.
Well, you got your expertise. You got to double your proficiency on some skills.
That came in handy with persuasion today.
Before you guys left the room, I cast Enhance Ability on Oliver and gave him basically what's called Bull Strength. That's why we were able to clear out the 500 pounds of books so quickly. And you basically just decked this guy and then wrapped him up like an anaconda.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it's true. So, I think from there, you went into interrogation mode, Mr. Gaddick.
Yeah, and I was like, why'd you frame us for killing the big boy? And he actually didn't know, which was really insane. I honest to God thought he would be behind it.
And then the other two guys were starting to panic. They couldn't figure out what was going on. And so I'd go and cast Thaumaturgy, which I increased the voice or the sound of my voice by 3. And I basically roll a mass intimidation check and just tell everyone to sit down, shut up. We're talking now.
Yeah. So we presented him with all this evidence and stuff, and we were like, because he was looking for some wizards earlier, and they're dead because they were killed by the half-elf mage that we killed in cold blood, honestly.
Yeah, he really didn't get a chance to fight back.
In cold blood, to be completely honest. We weren't murderers when it started, we were framed, but now, by the end of this campaign, we should absolutely be executed.
I did tell you guys to start combat, though. Like, I told everybody to roll initiative, so, like, I did let you know this was a fight. Y'all didn't murder that guy.
Was it
You mage!
You murdered later, not this guy.
Yeah. So, I'm presenting all this evidence, like documents, and talking about stuff. Presenting evidence to say that we didn't kill the Archbishop. And he, doesn't really believe us. And I'm like, fine, I'll take you to the bodies. And that's when the dude freaked. Not the guy we were interrogating. Not Kraft or Reno. The wizard.
Yeah.
That Gideon was anacondaing.
What was his name? They all had names.
Otto.
Otto
was the sorcerer that you were choking out.
I wasn't even choking him. I was just holding them from, attacking.
Yeah. I like when you were trying to beat him into telling the truth, and you had an axe on him, and he drops the axe to punch him, and I was like, wow, way to downgrade.
No, but then it ended up working, and he kind of piddled himself.
Yeah,
so.
he did pee.
There's a lot
of people peed themselves this night, which was very odd to me.
There were a lot of over 20 intimidation rolls today. I was really not prepared for this level of intimidation.
Yeah,
almost everything I rolled today was over a 20. It was wild.
Yeah, so the sorcerer, he gets free of Gideon, and he then throws up this massive wall of fire between him and us.
The wall of fire.
Thanks, Johnny.
Please,
call me Kevin.
Because you guys were in its direct line of fire, I think it hurt you a little bit, but I was still technically in the other room, so I was just
it didn't hurt you.
range.
You have fire resistance either way, which would have helped, but
We got a little damage. From
Oliver 820.
Well,
I took 7.
Mm-hmm.
I took 7.
Because you successfully evaded, and Oliver...
I'm a fast little boy toy.
The rundown was that Oliver got elbowed in the ribs hard enough to stun him, and that's how the...
Yeah, after Gaddick said, let's go to the rooms to show you some dead bodies, he freaked out.
Yeah, because he knew he was about to...
Get exposed.
Yeah.
And he was...
He had repeatedly lied to the bishop, and the entire party had enough insight to realize he was lying, but he succeeded a persuasion check.
Also, you're more likely to believe your buddy than the 3 random people you think killed the arch.
Yeah. Obviously.
I mean,
it was stacked against us.
Yeah, a little bit.
This whole campaign's been stacked against us, but that's why it's been so fun.
But I will say
so.
it was very impressive that we managed to get through this whole combat experience without actually killing anyone.
Yeah, I'm actually very proud of us for that.
So, guy threw up a wall of fire, and then...
Oh,
what happened to
I
that?
threw my Javelin of Misty Step, which lets me teleport, so I teleported to the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you magic missiled him, which, since the wall of fire needs concentration, you disrupted. And then...
No.
The wall of fire was still there.
Oh.
She destroyed him. She did almost too much damage.
Oh, yeah, explain in detail how exactly you
wrecked him.
Yeah.
You wrecked him for life. You crippled him for life, I'm sure.
Yeah, I jumped through with this Javelin of Misty Step, which teleports me. I didn't exactly hit where I wanted to, but it teleported me. And then I ended up, one of the only crits tonight, only good crits, and it was with my war pick because I'm like, I haven't used this. I feel bad. And I crit on it, but when you crit with a war pick...
It does triple damage instead of double damage. War picks have a crit range of 20. Most weapons have a crit range of 19 or 20. Trade-off is triple damage for a crit.
Exactly. So with a 1d8 plus strength, I rolled 2 8s and a 4, and then my strength I maxed out this time around because of the level up.
And you still have advantage from the enchantment.
And advantage from the enchantment that Fate threw up, and yeah, I almost severed his arm. So
You almost
You
stabbed
split
him
him
in
in
the heart
half.
from the top.
I mean, you know,
You pierced from the top. You pierced through his collarbone, through his shoulder, and stopped just at his rib cage
above his
above the heart. You nearly tore this guy in half with a
yeah,
pick.
but the wall dropped after that, at least, so we could
Yeah.
continue on.
Can't concentrate on keeping a firewall up if you're not conscious.
Right. And then you were still dealing with Craft Boy.
Yeah.
And at that
Craft
point, I think this is the first time I've really used Fate's charisma in a combat situation. So I actually come out of the room where I'm at, and I don't attack anything just yet. I told Kami that I wanted to prepare a twin spell lightning bolt effect, and I wanted to use it as an intimidation to scare the other two clerics or priests. And not where I said, okay, the next one of you who moves or draws a weapon is going to eat lightning.
So just need to pull a held action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a good move for an intimidation check if you've got lightning crackling between your fingers.
And then they also peed themselves.
One of them
Lots
peed
of urine.
One of them peed
Makes me wonder about you, actually.
I mean, I didn't know what else to do when he rolled a nat 20 intimidation check on a cleric. I was like, I mean...
It's a good non-verbal way to show fear, I suppose.
I wasn't sure what else to do, guys. You intimidated far more people than I expected.
We really
For
did.
being as klutzy as y'all are at times, y'all scared
yeah.
a lot of
we
people.
got kind of klutzier as it went along, too.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
It's a good thing they didn't move, because actually when you prepared that spell, the guy you crit succeeded on, if you'd fired a lightning bolt at him, it would have gone right through Craft.
Yeah.
Well, I could have paid a spell slot to careful spell it.
Nah, not if you've got dual spell. You can't meta magic 2 times.
okay.
We've killed enough.
So I was really glad that you succeeded on that guy, because if you'd had to fire, it would have been not good. You'd either had to not fire or possibly kill Craft.
That's fate. Whoa! Classic fate moment that would have been.
Moving on.
Yeah, so once that guy's knocked out, we do drag him to one of the side rooms to show him that there is some tomfoolery around.
Drag Richter to the room.
He refused to be dragged, so he walked calmly with us.
Yeah, and I
Too
think
much
I brought
pride.
the unconscious guy, just in case.
Yeah, and you held the other two down in the
Yeah.
back room, and he was like, "Oh no, my guys are definitely up to something bad, but I still don't believe you guys didn't kill the big boy upstairs."
Trick was they had so far not shown any proof that they didn't kill the guy, just that his friends were lying to him about some stuff. But
To be honest, we don't even have much real proof, but
it's true.
I feel like that's kind of the point.
Y'all have walked past some proof, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think, had we been a little more careful with our earlier sessions, we probably would have had proof to be like,
Yeah.
we're not bad, we promise.
I almost thought we could get out of it legally, and I was wrong. I was so wrong.
This turned into more of a massacre than expected.
Yeah, because
Yeah, we just...
then we had this big fight
In character.
with each other, like a argument about how to proceed. Because I was like, oh no, that's not what happened. Because there was the interrogation of the two and the burning.
Yeah,
Yes.
that happened first.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. How about you?
Right.
One of you tell us about that, since you guys haven't spoken too
Okay,
much.
so I take the lead
How about
on
someone
this.
else?
Oh, okay.
I'm just messing with you. Go ahead, my man.
They come back into the room and I start interrogating the other two clerics. The first one, it wasn't a crit succeed, but it did nice scare the crap out of the crit succeed one again.
Yeah, you roll like a 17 on another intimidation check to get information out of him, because you're still holding a lightning bolt next to his face, effectively.
Right, and he starts to tell us some stuff, but all of a sudden this burning pentagram starts showing up on his chest, and with an Arcana check, I
It
determined
wasn't
that
a pentagram. It was some kind of symbol from that other
Just some magic script across his chest.
Okay, yeah. So basically, it was a secret warding spell that prevents people from talking about stuff, kind of like the unbreakable vow from Harry Potter, except with secrets instead of promises. So this guy told us all he could without, killing himself, and so I start on the other guy, and I try to intimidate him, and I try to persuade him first. That doesn't work out so well. So then I try to intimidate him instead.
Well, that's how you got the information about the bell tower, was the second guy.
Yeah, because my idea was like, ask him about the bell tower. I bet that doesn't cover the bell tower, because that's for something, that's almost a separate thing.
So he starts making eyes at Kraft, who's like shooting daggers at him now at this point. And
then you got between them to cover it up, which was...
Really smart idea.
It was a smart idea, but at the same time, it was a mistake.
Right, so I put my hands on my hips and I get in his face and said, "Really? So tell me about this bell tower." And I basically cut off visual lines between him and Kraft.
Yeah.
Now, previously, he'd been about 15 feet away from this cleric that he was interrogating. He did specifically say that he got right up in this guy's face.
Partial for intimidation, but also I didn't want Kraft and this other guy from non-verbally communicating.
Yeah.
But what was bad for me was that this guy has like a cyanide pill in the form of an incendiary device.
Yeah. So the same thing that makes him keep the secret, he can also break and make himself boom.
So all of a sudden, a small incendiary bomb goes off from this guy's chest. The guy's toast. And I
So are you.
Well, I'm not nearly as toasty because I have a resistance against fire, being half demon. But it throws me across the room, and I take a good chunk of damage. Not enough to kill me.
It knocks you into me. I took like 4, I think.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, after calculating, had it been either of you two, not that you guys would have been in this guy's face, but had it been you guys two, it would have killed either of you.
Yeah.
It was a 33-point blast, I think, of damage. And you took half because of your fiendish resistance to fire. But that would have killed either of y'all and y'all's damage.
Yeah, it was pretty
So,
crazy
at
stuff.
at
Worked
this-
out.
at
I didn't
this-
have much damage, but it still would have, yeah.
So at this point, fate is still technically good, so he's not wanting to kill these guys, but his patience is wearing thin. He's just wanting to get the situation over with.
Yeah, my guy too. And I'm like, let's lock the remaining 2 in a room. One's catatonic from the burns, and the other ain't got no blood left. So what's he gonna do? So I was like, let's lock them in a room. And we were having trouble deciding which rooms. And then you were like, no, they could die if put in the other rooms. And I was like, prove it. Like, there was nothing. There was no proof that just being in those rooms would kill them. And then someone lied to me, and I fell for it.
Right.
Because of my
I
role.
think we should explain this whole situation.
So
It's a very long
first
argument.
off, explain how you guys fired shots at each other.
Oh, that was great when the rumors kicked
you
in.
were like, yeah. So Oliver was afraid that they were gonna starve or not be found.
Let me explain my
No,
reasoning.
it's,
So
you can do
mean.
that when it gets to your turn. It's my podcast, see?
We're going to be here for 12 hours.
But she was like, I don't want to kill anyone, and I was like, because there are these rumors that we all spread around, right? That are given to us by the DM about characters, and I was like, weren't you willing to behead like an entire town city council once to get something done? This is 2 zealots that framed us, and you're giving them more than the city council, and that turned out to be a true rumor that I maybe just don't have all the info about. And then
Definitely.
I'll pass it off to you. You can tell your side of the story.
So, where do you want me to start? Do I get a 20-second window
You
here?
can do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
Oh, well, I didn't know. It is your podcast.
Remember what I say. There's no consequences. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, my thought was we were looking at these rooms that they wanted to throw them in, but we had very little information about them. So I thought if we threw them in there, there's dead bodies. What if they instantly die as soon as you throw them in there? That's a little chaotic, not nice. So I didn't really want to just toss someone in there to just die. But then they're like, well, let's lock them in a room. And it's like, well, what if no one ever shows up to let them out? Then they'll starve to death, and that's really bad and not really chaotic nice either. So I was like, what if we just, bring them with and drop them somewhere or do something else? I mean, they weren't going to be hard to drag anywhere. But then he says this rumory thingy. And so I received a rumor about him, and I was like, what? some, didn't your dad disown you or something? And then he ended up explaining about that.
Yeah, and my guy was immediately like, my father would never do that, like very proud of his daddy. And you did roll insight on that, and my dad, in fact, did not disown me, but he did forcibly send me out in the world to learn that money isn't everything.
So we got to learn that rumor wasn't true.
So this goes back and forth for a little while longer, and Fate is fed up with this. He just wants to get out of this basement. He's tired of having things blow up in his face or get shot at him. And so I said, okay, best of both worlds. We're going to put him in a room, and I'm going to seal it with a timed seal. Now, the seal that I'm talking about, I'm lying at this point because I just have prestidigitation, and I claim that I'm going to make like a Naruto paper seal, where after 5 hours, it'll unlock and the people can leave. And in order to have this succeed, I had to convince Moneyhaver and Oliver that what I was saying wasn't complete bullcrap.
So I had him roll a deception check against McMoneyhaver's insight check, and the deception check from Fate won.
So I tell them that this is what I'm doing, and Oliver says, fine, but you're not going to get my help from it. So I crit succeed. I get a nat 20 on dragging one of these limp bodies to a door.
I think you rolled on that before I even asked you to, because I wasn't really going to ask you to roll on dragging the dead body. They weren't going to fight you.
Yeah.
So I put them in. I slap 2 illusionary pieces of paper that mean absolutely nothing on these doors.
Someone's going to come down there later and be like, what is this?
Well, the best part is those 2 guys are unconscious and don't know they're supposed to be locked in their room. So they're going to wake up at some point and be like, why is the door open?
But that was the thing. It was the most chaotic but non-threatening thing that I could think of to just get the situation over with.
It worked.
Yeah, I think you were like, wait a second, let me insight this. And I was like, I don't care at this point.
You were like, I don't even care to insight it. I just want it to be over. But it was fun. That was good. That was good character stuff, I thought.
Yeah, I
fun
liked
stuff.
it. We also got to do the rumors, which was fun to incorporate this.
Yeah, DM was very excited about the rumors. He was all about the rumors.
It was a new mechanic. I wanted to see how it played out.
And so the big thing we figured out was one that our bishop dude, who we swapped him off. Instead of my gauntlet tied around him now it's like ropes around him. And then we take him up to the top. We go through all the old security that we went through last time. We go by the Clockwork Dragon. We go through the barriers. We go up the stairs to the Archbishop's office. There's someone in the secret office writing. We can hear them. We'll probably never find out who it was because of future events. Oh, Lord.
You probably killed, like, the most...
Everyone's dead. Most of the clergy are probably dead. Just a little hint as to what's coming.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Stop. I'm going to choke.
So, we get into the room.
Yeah, we decide to go into the main office.
And
our hostage is gagged now. We have a big craft punk is our hostage now.
I don't know why we didn't go into that secret room. If it was one person, we could have totally took him. I'm just saying, guys.
I kind of get the feeling it was some old man anyways.
I can't tell you.
I cannot confirm nor deny.
So anyways, we go back into the bishop's chambers.
Where everything started.
Yep. And we are now... We know at this point that the bell towers is where we need to go. And we figured out that there's 2 of them actually. One on either side, at least from roof access, right above where we are. So...
Yeah, how do we get to the roof, Fate?
Oh, yeah. I summoned the power of Zeus. And I made a hole.
I didn't want to shatter the pretty window, so we went through the roof.
Yeah.
You made such a big deal about the window.
Call me Phil Swift, because I always cause a lot of damage.
And then it ended up not mattering, because we did way more damage than I predicted.
Nobody could have predicted you.
So
nobody predicts fate.
Now we get to talk about the Three Stooges scene where we're all trying to get to the
all trying to get out of the office and we can't.
Oh my god.
So I use my grapple gauntlet to get up, pretty easy, and then I try to pull you up, and I fail a strength check so hard, crit fail, roll the 1, and I fall flat on my face back into the office. What'd you say to me when I fell?
First thing you said is
lose some weight, like real defensively, like trying not to look like a loser.
And then I said you need to learn how to fall better. And then I then cast the enhance ability again. I give him like a cat's ability to.
No, you gave him the strength.
You gave me the bull.
Oh yeah, I gave him the bull ability,
which I still have. I'll still have that when we start next.
Yeah.
And so so he now has advantage on strength throws. He doesn't have to worry about pulling me up.
By the way, I will say I barricaded the doors because, we were making all the noise in the world again.
Yeah, you put the couch in front of the regular office door, and then you put the desk in front of the secret bookshelf door. And then I said, and then she moves the chair back with the desk so that it's nice and neat. And
all the noise we were making and you falling back to the
So I go back up and I pull Fate up, and then I try to pull, and then I have you hook Craft on, and I pull him up pretty easily, and then I try to pull you up, and then I think you crit fail.
Yeah, because you were failing, and then I'm like, well, can I use an acrobatics check to help him pull me up? Because I don't think you were going to make it.
You rolled like a 3 on a strength check, even with advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, can I run acrobatics to try to help? And that was another
Oh, yeah, that was when I rolled
fail.
2 5s for both of them.
Yeah, that was it.
So I had another crit fail.
And
I fell back or something.
And it was just a very comedic scene. It was really, really funny.
This really basic attempt that should have not taken as long as
it should have been
did.
the easiest thing we did all day.
Everybody rolled ones.
It was awful.
So we're on the roof, and we're trying to decide, which bell tower do we tackle first.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys cover this because all I did for a while was just stand by the hole in the roof with the hostage and kind of like cover you.
Yeah, so I think I just was like, I don't know, and I just ran up to one of the bell towers, and then you hardcored after me. And
no, I didn't hardcore nothing. Someone assisted me.
Did I throw a rope down or something?
You rolled a 19 to athletics up the bell tower and then threw a rope back.
Yeah, and then
because I looked up and I was like, "There's no way my little butt is getting up there on my own." Someone tossed me.
So then you had to come up, and then we decided to burn the wooden bar holding up the bell.
Yeah, so I start throwing little firebolt cantrips at this thing like it's some sort of cannon, and just try and wear away at it. And eventually it does give.
And this bell, we should probably say, had some glowing magical text around it. So we're like, this is probably what's holding up the shield around the city.
This is our ticket out of here, boys.
Yeah, so Fate proceeds to shoot this thing for like 8 minutes to burn this old wooden
frame.
Which was a lot more fire resistant than you would think.
Because it was huge.
Probably treated real well. I don't know. I don't know stuff. I'm not an architect.
It was a couple of feet thick, and this was a cantrip level of damage, so not fast necessarily. Plus, it was reinforced with some cast iron.
Yeah.
As would have been, true in history.
So this thing falls, and it is glorious. It just sort of crumbles through the floor of this bell tower, and it just starts going dong, dong,
smashing
dong.
through floor after floor. We hear screams that are suddenly cut off. Not a good sign. We are, in fact, mass murderers, more than likely.
Y'all ever seen
Not confirmed, but very much possible.
Y'all ever... I should have said this. We Nathan Draked it. Y'all ever seen Uncharted 4 where they're in the bell tower of the old Catholic Church?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I'm
not cultured like that.
Let's just say that there wasn't much of a church afterwards.
So okay, I'm following what you've done here.
Yeah, and then the magic dome covering the city starts to like flicker and stuff.
But it ain't dying.
Yeah, and I'm like, go to the other one. And then I think now's a good place to talk about the guards that came in.
So about this time, the guards, having heard the massive crack of thunder that blew a hole into the roof, and having heard a bell slam through about 4 stories worth of church, had decided that, maybe we should check out the Archbishop's study again.
The door's locked. Tell them what the captain of the guard said.
Not again!
Blocked by the same piece of furniture. It's insane.
And then wasn't the one guy knocking on the secret entrance.
So yeah, Gaddock was able to hear that from the secret passageway, whoever had been in the secret study was now trying to get back into the main study, which had been blocked by Gaddock. It's a lot of blocked doors here today. So the guards kick their way through the door, look up through this massive hole, and are like, "Quick, get to the bell towers, kill these fools."
And I'm like, nah, hostage.
And the guard's like, "Crud, hostage. Make a
He was
perimeter."
mad too.
Not
He
only
was
was it a
steaming
hostage, it was like one of the biggest hostages you could have gotten.
in the whole city. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's when we proceeded to make our way over to the other bell tower, but it wasn't as easy to deal with that one.
For some reason, people were alerted.
Yeah, so we kind of shuffle our way down from the one bell tower and we make our way over to the other. More of the same, where you just parkour your way up.
Yeah.
And I kind of struggle, but we managed
Yeah,
to
I
get
think
up
we
there.
struggled that second time, and I asked how much I'd have to pay you to cut off the tail and lose 20 pounds.
Oh, yeah, and then I jokingly say 30 pieces of silver, because, devil. And then you actually showed me 30 pieces of gold, and I said, I'm just kidding, I need it for balance.
So that was
So
math.
we try more of what we did with the first bell tower. I'm like getting ready to throw firebolt cantrips, and you're wanting to yank on the pole to try, or not the pole, the rope pulley to try and loosen it up a little bit.
Well, that was after the shield was casted to protect the bell.
Right. So at this point, I'm no longer hitting wood. I'm hitting shield, which is just eating up my bolts. And we kind of determined that this is going to take way longer than it's worth.
After the first blast attempt with the firebolt, there's a shield that gets cast protecting the bell, and you hear a much higher-pitched Gregorian chant coming from the second bell tower. So, having been alerted to the potential activities of terrorists, effectively,
Yeah, I mean, you hear one bell crash down and you're like, oh.
that's bad.
So I was like, let me just try to nat 20 this bell down like I do with doors, and
Yeah,
that didn't
you
work.
tried to grab a bell that takes multiple people to ring it and rip it down
I was hoping
You
for
did
while
suc-
standing right under it. Very smart.
Yeah,
Very smart.
I would have took it for the team.
At this point, yeah, you probably would
You
have.
kind of had a death wish towards the end of this campaign. I don't know if that's because you wanted to stop playing or you were done with us or what.
I think I was just so like,
You were ready to die. You were
Oliver-
like, I'm just ready to be GM next time. I'm just...
no, Oliver is just so mad at Gaddock for bringing up stuff.
Hey!
What?
Nothing. Being defensive is all.
Oh, okay. That's all. But
So, some failed attempts to bring the bell down.
And so we're having to I'm like, crap, we're not getting through this shield, and you're not strong enough to pull this bell down on your own.
So I think, didn't
Yeah.
Gaddock yell at us, go up top?
Go up top! Go in from above!
So I climb up there and start hitting it with my war pick,
Which is doing nothing.
Trying to warpick her way through, like, solid stone.
again,
Turns out
hoping
you
for a
didn't
nat
have
20.
any blasty magic, which I should have seen coming.
And
Yeah.
But,
so you say something, and you holler at me to get up there.
Yeah.
And I say, I just saw you kick in with your foot a magically enchanted steel door. Don't sass me, boy.
Don't
Yeah,
sass me,
I
boy!
think that's what you want. You're like, go kick the ground. And I'm like, I'll do
Oh,
my...
yeah, go kick the granite
Yeah.
ceiling.
I think, everyone's hoping for a nat
And then I
20.
said, fine. And so you help hoist me up. And I don't know what you expected me to do other than what I'm about to.
I don't know what you expected from me other than what I normally do,
Just
which
destroy.
worked.
But it was chaotically and hilariously glorious because I say, okay, you may want to step back a little. Actually, I didn't say
You used
that.
your child-killing spell.
That's not canon, you can't prove that.
I didn't say anything, too. You're just
That's how we
like,
all
oh,
know
wait.
it, though.
I then prepare to cast lightning bolt, and I say specifically, I begin pointing it down at the granite. And before I cast it, I put it above my head, and I say, "The one called Fate knocks at your door!" And I cast it like a ha downward, and I just obliterate this daggum ceiling.
You rolled for max damage off of a lightning bolt, and Stone doesn't have enough HP to stand up to that
Yeah.
many D8s.
D6s.
Oh, it was 8 D6s?
Yeah.
And the way the DM described it was basically like you turned this entire tower with the bell tower part and all the rooms under it into basically a paper towel tube. You just hollowed it out. You melted the bell like straight
Independence
down the
Day
middle.
this crap.
Well, the moment he destroys the bell, it does exactly what the other one did. The difference
But
is
harder.
he's weakened all the floors below with his lightning blast. The bell just tunnels its way through every floor of this tower.
And so Gaddock is quickly
No,
trying
I
to.
think he needs to tell us
go
about
on.
the office, where then the DM kind of points out the location of the office from earlier.
The secret study is directly beneath the bell tower that Fate has just soloed. So there is a chance that whoever was in that secret study that
He ain't there no more.
that Oliver Gideon locked in the secret passage may well have been underneath that bell.
He's goo now.
We will find
He's
out.
a goo man. Yeah, give me daps for that. Yeah.
We will find out with a D20 roll going into the next session on what this guy's luck looks like today.
Oh my
I
god.
hope he rolls a 20.
But
So-
yeah, after that tower came down, the captain of the guard dude was like, "Screw it, just go get him. Just go get him."
And
Kill them all.
Gideon Oliver's character was like, "What the crap?" And he's like trying to finesse his way off the wall.
Yeah, it didn't give me any time to get down before he Kamehameha
Yeah,
the entire tower.
Yeah, they destroy a tower while standing on top of it. They just
And-
No time to
implode this
climb
thing.
down. He's ready to go.
But in my defense, I did have a plan because after I did that, I obviously I remember my bonus action, Tempestuous Magic, and I very lightly jump 10 feet in the air and land on the side of the building, only suffering 3 damage.
Yeah, I don't get
You
that
didn't suffer any
option.
damage, but it was not very considerate to your party member.
Yeah, you just left Oliver up there to die.
I don't know what you expected me to do.
But Karen rolled a 19 to get down, didn't
Yeah,
you?
one
So
of-
it was
one of
fine.
the good rolls.
I straight up thought someone was gonna die.
You brought dynamite
I, honest
to a
to God,
lockpicking
thought
job.
someone was done.
I was preparing to hand somebody the PHB and be like, "You're looking for character, son."
I honestly thought at least one of you was not gonna make it out, if not both. I was like, if they both die, I'm just gonna cast fog. I'm gonna leave town forever.
Oh,
I
did-
also came prepared thinking that something like that might happen. I actually brought extra character sheets.
Yeah.
Always come
You are
prepared.
so prepared for your character to die because you have negative stats and half the
health.
HP of everybody else.
I'm just glad we didn't have to use the secret plan that we came up with first thing in this session.
Oh.
The coffee plan.
Oh yeah.
We'll discuss coffee plan another time if it comes up.
Oh, I hope
I don't even remember what the coffee plan was.
Coffee plan was
Coffee
you,
plans were so I started blasting.
yeah, you cast fog and then Fate runs you guys out and I'm
Oh
just
yeah, we were going to
oh,
give evidence to the guard, but then the bishop showed up, and
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera.
Y'all wasted
Yeah.
20 minutes on that plan that
it
never
wasn't-
did
It was
anything.
It was
such a
an
good
okay plan,
It
yeah.
was a good plan, not okay.
I think I'm pretty good at making up plans, to be honest.
Save coffee for later.
Yeah, but coffee did become our safe word because. So that's just our team's safe word now. It's written on my character sheet. Coffee, right up at the top, even above the words Dungeons and Dragons, because I know I'm gonna need it real soon.
Because we're going to have to get out of a situation.
Because you shouted it while jumping off the imploding tower. You were like, "Coffee!" Cafefe.
So now we're stuck on here on the roof in this half destroyed church.
with our hostage, and that's pretty much where we left off. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
don't forget that the guards are coming to murder you all.
Yeah,
That's
they're
fun too.
Oh Lord, they coming.
And you all definitely have a body count at this point.
We are mass murderers. Absolutely, we are mass murderers.
But we look fabulous while doing it.
As long as we can get out of the city limits, I think we'll be okay.
Well, that's
Yeah, that's it. That's session 5, correct?
Yes, it
I
is.
guess, yes.
Yeah, that's session 5 because we did 2 sessions for each of the past
Oh,
2
that's right. It is
episodes.
session 5.
But now we're caught. Yeah, we caught up last time, and now it's only 1 per episode because we're caught up. But yeah, that's it. There will likely be just some regular standard board game episodes. I think we're going to do a story time episode next time where we tell stories from our gaming past. There probably won't be another D&D episode for a month unless it's just talking about mechanics and stuff. But another D&D story time episode should be a month or so from now, right?
3 weeks to a month. I'm hoping to keep these sessions, every 3 weeks.
Yeah, that sounds good. If you would like to follow us on social media, check out B3 Podcasts on Facebook and also at B3 Productions on Twitter. I actually want to do a giveaway soon, so definitely follow us on Twitter if you want in on that and listen to future episodes. If you're listening to this on YouTube, you can get it several days earlier on places like Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts. So check out your regular place for audio podcasts to do that. If you want merch or gaming supplies, we have them on our eBay page, which should be in the description, as well as our Patreon, which is also B3 Productions. I'm just going to put all the links in it in the description so you can have all that stuff. So that's it. Anyone else got anything they want to say? Any little smart aleck comments for me?
No.
Don't look at me like that. Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you all once again, and we'll see you next week when fate knocks at your door.
That's me.
I knew you'd say that. I knew you would say that. I hate you.